All right. Good morning and good afternoon and everything in between to everybody who could join us live. This is our mid-year goals reset, and we appreciate everyone who could join from across the time zones here. We got everyone from Hawaiian time out to Atlantic time and everything in between. So thank you so much. This is our chance to see how we're doing in 2025. How are the goals going? Are they not going? Are they going? There's going to be no judgment, no shaming, no shoulds, musts, or guilt. There's only going to be trying to find some clarity in the steps we take and the confidence in the outcomes we can achieve. And if we're doing great so far and we want to keep at it, that's great. If we need to do another reset, if we have to reset 2025 now, we can do that. That's our choice. We can do it however we want. It's our lives, it's our goals, it's the stuff we want to achieve, it's the stuff we deserve. So I'm glad you all are here. Thank you so much. So before we get into talking about some of the tools and how we're doing, we have to make sure we're in a good mindset. And I am curious to see where everybody is at. And oh, there it is. So I'm going to just put up a little poll right now. I'm curious to see what you guys think. So I think just sort of on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you so far with achieving your 2025 goals? There's no right or wrong answer here. And I just kind of did it in the ranges. 8 to 10 would be you're pretty satisfied, you're doing great. 1 to 2 would be you're really struggling, could need some help, and we've got everything in between there. And I'm seeing a good mix. Anybody else want to drop in and let me know?
Ian, can you hear me?
I sure can, Norma.
Okay, I didn't attend the goal seminar you gave or the talk, so
Okay.
I haven't said any, so that's why I'm not doing the poll.
Great, that's no problem. Well, you can set some today, maybe. We can talk about what sort of goals you want to do. Yeah, no problem, Norma. Thank you.
Okay.
So it looks like most of us are kind of in between somewhere, right? With, some who are doing great, some are struggling, and it's kind of a good range. So that's good to know. Thanks so much, everyone. All right, so making sure that we're in the right mindset. We talked about this in January, but I want to emphasize it once again. It's critical that we're in the right mindset when we're talking about goals. I think we all sort of intuitively understand why that is. If your mindset is based in fear and lack and limitations, then what do you guys think your goals are going to reflect?
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Your goals are going to reflect fear and lack and limitation. Absolutely. On the other hand, what if your mindset is gratitude and abundance and joy? What are your goals going to reflect?
That.
Yeah, that. It's always your goals are going to reflect where your mindset is. So it's critical to make sure we get in that good place. Whenever you're thinking about goals, it could be a daily goal, a weekly goal, a quarterly goal, whatever it might be. So let's reflect on, things we can be grateful for. Whatever 2025 has been like so far, whatever this week or today is going like, there are always things you can be grateful for and proud of. So try to focus on the things you're grateful for, on the people you're grateful for, on the things that brought you joy, on the things you can be proud of so far this year. And the second half of 2025 is still a chance to be a blank slate. If you want the second half of the year to be a blank slate, let's make it a blank slate. Or it's your chance to continue the work you've been doing. That's up to you, how you want to think about that. You guys remember Harold and the Purple Crayon? Remember that cartoon? Anybody remember Harold and the Purple Crayon? Little kid who had a purple crayon. He could draw anything, it would come to life. It was magic. I've been doing a lot of inner work with my inner child lately and realized that when I was a kid, I had that purple crayon. And at some point, the world told me, you're not magical, and they took that crayon away, and I gave up my power, right? And I've only just recently been learning to grab that purple crayon right back and to take my power back to create and be magical, just like Harold was. That's what the rest of this year can be. Be magical, have your purple crayon. Make sure whenever you're thinking about your goals that you're in the right mindset of joy and abundance and that you have the right support around you. So when you start thinking about any sort of goals you want to set, you always want to think in terms of what would you set if you knew you couldn't fail? Right? How would that go? If you knew you couldn't fail, can you imagine how that would change the goals you're willing to set?
Mm-hmm.
And dream big, go big, go bold, and have fun. Set goals with a smile on your face. Put on music that makes you feel good. You know, for me, I like to be surrounded by my fur babies. Makes me feel good when I'm setting my goals. Right? Do it together in community. And the thing is, don't worry about what's realistic. The bigger you go, the more likely you are to achieve some way there. Right? Let's say you set an income goal of $300,000 or an income goal of $1 million. And you think, well, $1 million is totally unrealistic. But it turns out if you set the goal of $1 million, you're more likely to achieve the 300,000 because you're reaching farther and higher and you're more excited about it. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Weekday, Greg Brown. Is there a day here that makes
Yeah.
D-Dot?
Some background noise there somewhere. I'm not sure which one it's on. Thanks. And life is too short to play small, so play big. We have a community called Empowered Business Habits. Some of you have heard this before. Some of you are in it. And this is the kind of mindset shift we work on every morning together. Staying in that joyful space, thinking big, checking in, creating energy that supports us in achieving our daily goals. And your daily goals are what can help you achieve your weekly goals, and then your monthly goals, your quarterly, your yearly. So it's amazing what changes when you don't have to do this stuff alone. And you have a support group that helps you achieve that mindset on a daily basis. So let's review what's been going well so far in 2025. Right? This is part of how we get in that mindset shift. Focus on the good stuff that we're grateful for. Even if we haven't achieved the things we wanted, that's fine. You know, I'm definitely admit I'm short of some of the goals I had planned for this year, for various reasons. But I'm not going to let that be any sort of excuse for the rest of the year. So let's talk about what's going well so far in 2025. So think of, if you have a notepad or if you have the worksheet, or if you even just want to type it in the chat, that's fine. Just take 1 minute to list 2 or 3 experiences or people or events so far this year that you can truly be grateful for. Write it down. Again, if you have the worksheet, great, or a notepad, or if you want to put it in the chat and share, that's great too. And just 1 minute. Don't think about it too hard. 2 or 3 experiences or people that you are grateful for this year. You can list more if you want. More come to mind. Y'all have that 2 or 3 things. Does anyone want to share in the chat? Or
I will real quick.
sure, Norma.
Okay, I have two. One is having clients, even though they've dropped from what they usually are, and my health and all my body parts.
There you go. There you go. You have clients and you have your health. That's what John's always saying, right? You got to have your health, right, John?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'd like to share too, just to say that for me, my priority is my own well-being first, and self-care. I've learned that if I can be things to other people, I've got to be things to myself first. So
Yeah.
self-care is really, really to me very, very prioritized in my life, and I feel very good about that. When things aren't going as well as I think, and I just turn to the gratitude, and putting that little ball of gratitude in my pocket like you do in our EBH has been fabulous. That it's easy to not catch yourself, but then it's easy to catch yourself and make that choice. So just gratitude, grateful for what you put together in the morning to do that, uh, do these daily business habits that, empowered I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's for me. One thing I'm grateful for is the group that we formed. That's a big, it's been a huge part of our lives, those of us who are in it. I don't know how we're doing things without it, honestly, now.
Beautiful.
My beautiful wife is grateful for me, which is very sweet of her because I'm grateful for her every day, every minute. Grateful, she's grateful for Simba. Some of you have met our new kitten, Simba. Norma, hopefully he'll show up today so you can meet our new kitten, Simba.
Oh, all
Kirsty and
right.
our daughter and son-in-law who just got married, and her mom. Yeah, my mother-in-law, her mom. It's been great, reconnecting and having a relationship with her. John, grateful your self-care, serving others. Yeah. Laura, grateful for at a launch point and pitching the clients. Love it. On track to prepare a metaphysical fair. You're giving a lecture at a healer booth. That's amazing. Oh yeah. And Laura, that gratitude for learning how to stop banging our head against the wall, right? Stop banging, because that's easy. We get very comfortable banging our head against the wall, don't we? Sometimes it feels safe, even though we know it's not good for us. So yeah, that's good stuff to be grateful for. Thank you all. All right, now list 2 to 3 times you have felt that you were in the flow in the first half of 2025. You were in the flow, however you want to phrase it, at the top of your game, on fire. What are 2 or 3 times? Things you were doing, people you were with, activities you were engaged in. Again, just take one quick minute. Don't think too hard about it. Just whatever comes to your mind. Oh, Kristen, oh, thank you so much. Grateful for our community and Believe Code training for sure. Your family, yeah, the community, the wellness center, the martial arts. I love hearing about everything you guys are doing, Kristen. Donna, grateful for reconcile with her daughter, supporting her son, consistent client, best friend, your lunch group, stable schedule. Yeah, we've been working on good habits and stabilizing things, haven't we, Donna? That's awesome. I love it. All right, again, just one quick minute. 2 to 3 times you were in the flow and the top of your game. You were on fire in 2025. I say for me, I tend to feel like I'm at the top of my game and on fire when I'm speaking on stage, live or virtual, when I'm attending a mastermind or one of the groups we've set up. So for me, it's a lot about the interaction and the community. Big parts for me, interaction and community. Yeah, John, you've been making great use of the AI, helping you get in the flow. Yeah, in fact, the last month or so, I've been trying to use it a little bit more, at least on, just kind of taking my content and making it pop a little more. So it's still all my words, but it looks a little prettier and helps it flow a little better.
Hello.
Yeah. Very cool. Anybody else? Oh, hey, Melinda. Good to see you.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So, Melinda, we're just going through so far from the first half of 2025. What's been working? Because by looking at what's been working, we can figure out how to move forward.
Are you asking me this? Did I get in the hot seat somehow?
You did. You hopped in, so now you're in the hot seat, Melinda. That's right. I know you can take it. So, yeah, Melinda, what are a couple times in the first half of 2025 that you are in the flow or on fire at the top of your game?
Well, it's so important for me to take care of my physical health
Mm-hmm.
in order and to me everything flows together. So when I'm not on my game or when I'm doing my 10,000 steps and lifting weights a couple of times a week, I am better in my relationships, in my business, in my everything. So that works, but it's very intentional. It's kind of this I had to rewire my identity to the point that I am a woman who walks 10,000 steps and I got to get it done early because the afternoon gets away from me and I'm like, oh, shoot. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that has been working.
Yeah. So that's been a common theme so far on this call today, taking care of
Oh,
ourselves, because taking care of ourselves is how we are able to serve others, and it creates flow in the rest of our life. Yeah. Donna, when you're doing the energy healing, your nutrition group, our goals group. Yep. Laura, when you're writing the outlets, when you're working on your speech. Yeah. And developing your skills. I love it. Yeah. Heather. Oh, it says Ian, but I think that's Heather. Energy flow and I am. Yeah, rewiring your identity with the I am statement. And you guys know, some of you have been through the critical thinking course, sometimes being careful about the I am statement too, because you can get stuck in a place where you don't want to be if you are overusing the I am statement. When have you used your purple crayon in 2025? When were you Harold with the purple crayon? When did you pull it out and draw something and make it come to life? Joe, yeah, when you're on stage and doing your online seminars. If you guys don't know Joe, he's a great speaker. He's got a lot of good stuff to do. Donna, the one command. Yeah, we've been learning the one command lately, that meditation. That one does put me.
What is the one command?
It's a meditation that we've been learning in our morning group and in our weekly calls, where you basically put a command out to the universe and make it happen.
Ah.
And you admit that you don't know how it's going to happen. You don't have to make it happen, right? So let's say my one command is, I don't know how my sales for my next workshop are effortless and easy and just flow right in. I only know that it's happening now and I am fulfilled.
It's
That's kind of
only happening now and what?
And I am fulfilled.
Ah.
That's the short version that you could do any day. There's a whole long form version too that we've been learning.
It's a form of manifestation then.
Yes, it's a manifestation mantra. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know for Heather and I, one time we took out our purple crayon in January when we decided to start, our own support and accountability group with all of our clients. We just took out the purple crayon and went for it, and it happened. We decided we were going to make it, so we made it. Oh, Don, I appreciate that. Your nutrition group, joining EBH. Kristen, steps to growing better health, interacting your community. Yeah, your homeschooling. I love hearing about your homeschooling adventures. Oh, that's awesome. So when you look at, oh, John, you have a question real quick? Yeah.
I just wanted to share, that the manifestation when you just do that one command, like, I've had some, I know my financial situation is going to keep changing for the better. And here I'm in Hawaii right now. And I said, I just threw out that command. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to play in a golf tournament because I know it's aligned with, who I am and my purpose for serving others in such a way. And all of a sudden it just comes to me. My friend gave me
Yeah.
a ticket to get here, because he had so many miles. He says, "Hey," and I didn't even ask him. He just said, "I want to give this to you." And then my hotel that I'm staying in, I have a timeshare, and my former wife, she put a reservation in. She couldn't use it, and all of a sudden, here I am for a whole week that is on my timeshare, and
Yeah.
it just manifests. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
great.
So think of when you've been in the flow, when you've been creative, when stuff is working well. If you can come up with 5 common themes, great. 1 or 2 or 3 will do. If you got a notepad, if you got the worksheet, or if you want to put them in the chat, whatever. What are the common things? Is there a commonality in your mindset? Is there a commonality in your community or the support group you're with? But what are the common things that are happening when you're in that flow state, when you're creating, when you're manifesting? I would say some common things for me are when I'm not suppressing my emotions, but feeling them. I'm more creative and I'm manifesting. When I'm taking better care of my body, when I'm with a community of people I love, when I'm allowing my creativity to come out without judgment. Those are kind of common themes for me when I'm at my best so far this year. And you can see how this is helpful, because if you can identify these common themes, then you can just make sure that you're manifesting these common themes, right? So for me, I'm making sure I'm not suppressing myself, making sure I'm being creative, making sure I'm taking care of my body, making sure I'm with people I love. Now I know that if I do all that, I can accomplish great things.
I have some to offer.
Yes, Norma.
Okay. That the universe is a giver and
Mhm.
has my back. And so I feel freer to ask what I want, what I desire. And that
Mm,
I notice if I'm clear on what I desire and I speak it out loud, the thing or object, and I never know how it's going to happen, but it happens.
mhm.
When I go into any little teeny bit of doubt, forget it. I know it's not going to happen, and it doesn't. And when I'm trusting of what I'm asking for, trusting it's for the good of all,
Mhm.
plus myself, then I usually manifest.
Yeah. So that trust that the universe wants to give you the things that you want and deserve, and then being able to receive that gift.
Yeah. And be
Mhm.
clear on what it is you want, because if you're not clear, then the universe can't deliver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Donna's common themes: sleep, food, good food, being positive, loving people, being honest and sincere. Yeah, see, it's hard to be in a flow state if you're not being honest and sincere with yourself and those around you, right?
Yeah.
Heather,
And
energy to flow for the highest good of all. And you are a sovereign being with your source, right? That's why we do our other meditation. I know who, I know what, I know how. How can you serve? How can you make their lives better? For sure. Laura, working on your practice and your creative projects, stop forcing it. Yeah, Laura. Easier said than done, right, Laura? Easier said than done. Boy, do we like to force it. Yeah. Clearly state your boundaries. That's a good, see, that's another one that's hard for a lot of us. A lot of us has those same problems, right? We're givers, we're people pleasers. We've had to learn to set boundaries, right? But as we do set boundaries, we're actually finding that we're able to give more and serve better. Melinda, slowing down. That's another, now that for me is easier said than done. Slowing down, listening to your intuition, being with your family, serving. Yeah. See, this is good. Good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. So any other patterns that get you in a high vibration state? It's a similar question to the last one. We're just coming at it from a different angle to see if it generates anything else. Is there any other pattern? Maybe you identified it already, and that's good. I think when I put together a lot of the stuff, my commonalities, the pattern seems to be taking good care of myself. If I were to, put a theme to it, taking good care of myself, my body, my emotions, my community, my relationships.
you know,
Laughing, dancing, moving. Yeah, Joe, right after a power nap. There you go. Heather, asking what your pain is about. See, I always forget to do that one, right? When you feel the pain, asking your body, asking your higher self, what is this trying to tell me right now? Yeah, sorry, Norma. Did you
yeah, I just wanted to, we're always hearing and talking about serving others, serving others. But what we don't hear about as much is serving ourselves. And there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong. This is my epiphany anyway. Serving ourselves in taking care of ourselves, sleeping, eating well, drinking water, all of that. puts
Yeah.
us in a balanced state. And we,
Yeah.
like the sun shines waves of energy that uplift us. Well, we're like little suns. And so we have this wonderful energy coming out, and it serves so many people, and we don't even have to talk to them, but
Yeah.
we're giving to them by being the best self that we can be. And
Yeah.
the other thing I'm really sitting with is that the only way I'm ever going to be truly happy is it has to come from me. We've been led to believe it's going to outside of ourselves. If we have a fancy car and a big mansion and we make 100,000 plus a million, whatever.
Mhm.
No, I've met people who have all quote those things. They're not happy. So
Mhm.
it's an inside job, and I think the happier each of us becomes, the more we uplift each other. I know if anybody here in this group tells me something wonderful about themselves that they're happy about, I feel happy. If they
Yeah.
tell me they're sick and dying, well, that's their journey, but it certainly doesn't uplift me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I love how you put it, like we're all little sons, Norma. So I've noticed, like, if I'm standing in line at the grocery store and I'm grumpy, everybody around me is grumpy too. If I'm standing in line at the grocery store and I'm feeling in a high vibe mode, then everybody seems cheerful around me too. It's infectious.
Yeah. And it's easy. We don't have to do anything. No solicitation, no legislation, no anything. We just
Yep.
be. We just be and shine our light.
Yeah. I love it. John, that authenticity. Laura, clearing away the energies, respecting your boundaries. Brian, good to see you. Glad we could see you here for a little while today. Donna, expressing your truth, more authenticity. Joe, your morning routine, breath work, meditation, affirmations. Yeah, that morning routine, it's big. Donna, connecting. My love, Christ-like and radiating out that love. Yeah. So are there any other things? We did a couple things we could be grateful for. Do you want to add anything to that gratitude now that we're kind of working on getting ourselves up here a little bit? Right? Definitely my kittens and my puppy, my beautiful wife, the fact that I mean, it can be simple things like every day, even when days seem hard, we have food in our belly, a roof over our head, and people are love us. Every day we have that, even on the hard days, right? There are days where it's easy to get down and feel like you have nothing, except we have everything. If we have food and shelter and people who love us, we have everything in the world. We have everything we need.
If we look at it that way.
Yeah, if we look at it that way. Yeah. And
Like,
that's a choice, isn't it, Norma? To look at
yep,
it. That's a
that's right.
choice.
Like I appreciate nature. And I
Yes.
noticed that on my patio, I started going out every day, just touching them and talking to them. All of a sudden, they are, I'm getting lots of strawberries. I'm getting
Mm.
figs on my little fig tree, even when it lost a lot of leaves. And
Hmm.
even nature responds to our love, and we respond from it. So
It
I'm
does.
grateful for nature.
Yes. Well, and we get to spend a lot of time in nature. We're usually in a forest or on the water or, that's all good energy. Laura, how about that? Your teenager's becoming more self-sufficient.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
you know, I'm grateful that Heather and I are empty nesters and they're all self-sufficient.
good.
That we know of.
As far as we know, yeah. They're not coming to us asking for stuff, so I assume they're figuring it out.
Well, that's just because I'm a big meanie with good boundaries.
Uh-huh, with good boundaries. Not a beanie, you have boundaries. Yes.
Yeah.
Donna, family, friends, money in the bank, bills paid, people who love me, food in the fridge. There you go.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. John, overcoming imposter syndrome. How about that for something to be grateful for as we worked through, and John, on our morning calls, I've been seeing you gain that confidence and that authenticity over the last 6 months. I can see it building my friend, is beautiful.
Absolutely, John, you are beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And this is what we do inside our community every morning. We celebrate these wins every day, even the small ones. And in fact, we like to say there are no small wins, right? If you cooked a good breakfast, that's a win, and we're going to celebrate it. There's always a win every day to celebrate. That helps us get in that high vibe mindset to keep moving forward. We're training our brains every day to look for progress, to feel gratitude, to look for successes. And it's okay to have struggles. We do share our struggles with each other, and that's fine too as we celebrate. But finding more of that progress is a beautiful daily practice. So it's been awesome. All right, now let's talk about installing those empowering beliefs for the rest of the year. We've been looking at what's working, trying to focus on the good parts of the year so far and how we can move forward. So for the rest of 2025, we're going to get more of what we focus on. We all understand that, right? That's basic mindset, law of attraction stuff. Law of attraction is not magic. You still have to go out and take action and make it happen. You still have to do things, and that's good. But it gets you in the mindset to focus on what you want to do and make it happen. And we're going to get more of what we focus on. Again, if I focus on grumpy people at the grocery store, all I see are grumpy people. If I look for friendly people who help each other out and have a chat in the line, then I see lots of friendly people, and I end up in the line with all the friendly people. You're always going to get more of what you focus on. And it's just simple. Even it goes back to the whole, you buy a red sedan, a brand new red sedan, and suddenly you go look around and you're like, oh my gosh, everybody has a red sedan. So what do you want to focus on for the rest of the year? Make yourself a little list. Again, on your notepad, your worksheet, drop it in the chat. What do you want to focus on for the rest of the year? I've decided I'm no longer focusing on how money is going out. I'm focusing on how the money is coming in and how the new clients are coming in. And I'm focusing on the fun I'm having serving all the clients who are coming in. I'm focusing on our community. So what do you want to focus on for the rest of the year? Second.
My passions.
Which are?
I don't know yet. Well, I sort of do. Some of my clients say, when am I going to speak or write a book or something? So I've sort of been dabbling with writing a book on energy because I find it so valuable and help us to help ourselves. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you. Like right now, I just want to go blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can feel good, and here's how you do it. And I have all these examples, real life, honest to God examples. And I'd like to tell people that. And I freeze up when I think about stepping out to do that. So, anyway, thanks, Heather, for asking.
Abundance and prosperity, how to serve, lead by example. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And your focus, it could be on emotions, gratitude, love, joy. Could be projects that you enjoy working on. Are you excited?
I'm running into a conflict as you're talking, which is this. I've heard over the years to be in the now. If you're in the now, that's where all the power is. So I'm thinking, if I just stay in the now, I'll be guiding myself to what I need to do. And yet, goals seem to be a necessity for guiding us to where we want to go, like direction signals.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
No,
so
absolutely. And my goal is to stay present in the present moment in my body.
Mhm. And it can seem like a conflict. It doesn't have to be, because I agree, and we do this a lot in our morning group. There is no yesterday, there is no tomorrow, there's only today, there's only now. This is all we're guaranteed, is the moment we're in right now. At the same time, in this moment, there could be an arrow pointing in the direction you want to go. That could be part of the now. That's part of the goal setting, is living in the direction you want to achieve in every moment. I know I want to get from here to there. I'm still going to focus on where I am, but part of where I am is that arrow guiding me.
Nice. Yeah.
Laura, yeah, giving when you want to, right? I love that idea, Laura. Giving when you want to. It protects yourself and it helps everybody else. Yeah. Donna, serve using energy healing, a base of good health, loving connections. I love it, Donna. Donna, that's the first use of the word fun today. We should probably be using that word more. Yes, Donna. Opportunities to have fun. There ain't nothing wrong with having fun.
That's right.
And Donna, I have a lot of pain at different times with my migraines, and I certainly understand. And the thing I've really been working on, especially these last couple months, is when I wake up the first thing in the morning, is noticing if I'm in pain. And Ian and I have also been learning another technique around compassion, and really, kind of acknowledging, instead of trying to deny and, oh, I'm not in pain and I'm just going to get up and bootstrap my way through the day. Just I try to lay in bed for a little extra time, which, by the way, sometimes that's why I'm not on in the mornings. I do apologize, everybody, and I miss you. But I'm laying in bed trying to stay in my body, and I say, I'm so sorry. My head hurts. I'm so sorry. I don't feel like I want to deal with things today. I'm so sorry. I don't want to get out of bed this morning. And I just really embrace whatever the head hurting is wanting me to do, whatever it is I'm resisting doing in the present moment. And sometimes I fall back asleep while I'm doing it. And that actually happened this morning, to be honest. And I did that, and I woke up and the migraine was gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that the migraine was gone and that worked for you. And I hear you. I hear that it's hard to find that space of compassion, and yet what can I do? So not not giving up on everything because of the pain, and yet not trying to pull up by the bootstrap thing. That definitely doesn't work. So yeah, it's a hard walk, but thanks for sharing that. That's really positive.
Yeah, we don't have to get down on ourselves for feeling how we do.
Well, and some days are better than others. Some days I have to rely a little more on medication because I have, therapy clients that I'm seeing that day. I tend to see therapy clients on the weekends, and I try to kind of batch my time so that there's plenty of time for me to rest, relax, recuperate, listen to my body, go with the flow. I'm just finding a huge balance in trying to live life and stay present, conscious, aware in my body.
If I may just share something real quick, I was led to believe it's okay to ask for help. So when I have something sometimes going on that I cannot know about, I just say, Divine Creator, please guide me to who or what or where or whatever I need to solve this situation. And it happens. It may take a week or two. Sometimes it could be the same day or a few hours, but it comforts me to know I have that support. And because I never ask. And so I'm practicing asking and I'm liking the results. Yeah.
Ask and you shall receive. And it's, also whenever I think, uh, I'll get clients saying like, should I ask for this? Should I ask the universe? Should I ask my client? Should I ask my parents? Should I ask? And my attitude is always, well, the worst they can do is say no. In which case, what have you lost? You're in the same place you started. You've lost literally nothing,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So what has to happen to make 2025, the rest of it, the most abundant and joyful year of your life? And doesn't mean that this is the peak and it's all downhill. It could be the best so far, and then next year is the better, and the next year is the better, and so on and so on. But what has to happen during the next half of the year to make this the most abundant and joyful year so far?
Well, for me, I just realized I have to set my intention that that's what happens.
There you go. Set the intention. Yes.
Absolutely. And that's what we are doing. And we
Mm-hmm.
do every day.
Mm-hmm.
In a
Set the
supportive
intention.
and loving community.
Yeah.
And energy follows intention. That's how you move energy around. I found, anyway, over 10 years is with intention. So,
Mhm.
yeah. And I like the most abundant and joyful year of your life. I like reading that.
It feels good to read that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's a high vibration intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wahoo.
Woohoo. There's a guy we follow who does 10 woohoos at the start of every call to get you in the mindset. Yeah.
Tony Robbins puts on music and gets you to get up and
Get a
dance.
move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah.
you can move your body, he says you can change your mindset.
Yes. Uh-huh. Bob, focusing more on who you want to be with the idea that you don't, yeah, you get from life what you are, Bob. I love that. Not what you want, but what you are. Think more about what you want. Yeah. And I love that, Bob, how you finished it off. If not now, when? Right? If not now, when? In fact, Heather and I have a saying that's very similar. When people say someday, our response is, well, someday has a way of becoming never. Laura, there are some messy processes. Yes. Heather and I have gone through some messy detangling processes ourselves. Mhm. If it's not serving the highest good. Yeah, for sure.
And I have a question. If you're
Yeah.
happy, I'm running into this currently. I'm quite happy doing my counseling and I'm happy. I don't want to stand in front of 1,000 people and speak, but
Mm-hmm.
but the universe has something up its sleeve, I think, or I do, and I don't know it
Mm-hmm.
consciously. In the last 3 months, my customers, the amount has dipped, and it's
Mm-hmm.
forcing me to do things financially, like dip into my reserves and things.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying, okay, God, if I'm supposed to do something else, please show me or guide me to what it is, because I'm clueless. And at the same time, I don't know that I want to do a podcast or write a book. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. But then
Yeah.
I think if I'm called forth to do more, well, I'm willing to do that, but I've got to be shown what the heck it is, because otherwise I'm quite content where I am.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with being happy and content where you are. And it's not a contradiction to say maybe the universe wants you to do other things too. And that calling will slowly show up. If it's meant to be your calling, you will start to feel it, especially if you are doing your energy work and being in alignment with who you are.
You see, but it comes to passion. I'm passionate about what I do. So
Yeah.
whatever this is that I'm supposed to do that I'm not yet aware of, I hope I find it, I'm passionate about it. That would help.
If it's your calling, then the excitement and the passion will come. That will be part of how you know it's your calling. If you
That's
say,
very
if you're thinking, boy, that sounds boring and tedious, it's probably not what you're called to do, right?
good. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Donna, yeah, to make 2025 great, you got to take control of your focus for sure.
so looking at Laura's having to go through the sometimes messy process of detangling from unaligned people, situations that don't serve highest good or any good. And as I sit in my heart with that, it's so, I know that Ian and I have and continue to deal with that so many times. I saw Melinda agreed with it as well. And I think that sometimes the reflection of the unalignment, the disconnection
Mm-hmm.
that is being reflected back to us, that is not in alignment for who we want to be, and not focusing on those people or those situations, but in that moment, really getting into your heart space and aligning with what it is you want in the present moment, instead of judging it, resisting it, pushing it away. How do you just get in your heart space and have love? Not, and love is not saying I like this unaligned situation or person that's acting in a negative way, but just realizing that at different times we are all disconnected from our true source, our good. And it's just reminding us to get back into that heart space more consciously, I think. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Sorry.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, that's beautiful, honey.
I've got Ian, I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a short story about choosing what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there was a young man who was quietly walking along a California beach deep in prayer when he suddenly looked up skyward and cried, "Oh Lord, please help me. I'm deeply troubled and I don't know where to turn." And from the heavens above, in a deep booming voice, God said, "Because you've been faithful to me for many years now, I will grant you one wish. What is it that I can do for you?" The man said, "Could you please build me a bridge so I could drive to Hawaii anytime I like, maybe to see John?" God said, "That's a pretty tall order. Um, think of all the concrete and steel required to reach the bottom of the Pacific Ocean for thousands of miles. That would be possible, but very difficult to accomplish. I could do it, but I want you to think it over and see if you can think of something easier out of respect for your Lord."
Uh-huh.
The man thought for a while and finally said, "Lord, can you help me understand how women think and what I could possibly do to please them?" The Lord immediately replied, "Do you want that 2 or 4 lanes on that bridge?"
Uh-huh. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Yep. Katie, welcome. Good to see that you were able to hop on. So what beliefs do you need to install for the rest of 2025? If you want to set the right goals and achieve them, what do you have to believe? These could be beliefs about yourself, about the world, about your relationships, about money, about business, about clients. What is it you're going to need to believe? Yeah, Laura, that the universe will course correct. If you take a wrong turn, the universe can be very forgiving. It wants you to get where you need to be. You can open the wrong door. That's okay. It will give you a path back to the right one. Great, Joe. Glad we could see you for a little while. Yeah, Donna, you're worth it. You have something to bring to the world. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still working on reinstalling the belief from my childhood that I am magical and I do have a purple crayon and I can do anything I want. You know, because the world really tries to hammer that belief out of you, doesn't it?
You know, Ian, when you say that, I swear to heaven, I can truly see you having a magic crayon and doing that. It befits you. It really does befit
Thank
you
you,
from
Norma.
my point of view. Yeah.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Inspires me to go see if I have one.
You do have one. I know you do. It's probably sitting right there on your desk in front of you, right? We just have to open our eyes and see it, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What beliefs do you have to install?
That you can do it. That's
Yeah.
okay. You can do it.
Yeah, that's what Donna just said, that I can do anything I want.
Yeah, but you know, for me, maybe others have experienced that. That's sort of pushed out of you when you go to school, starting with
Mhm.
kindergarten. But the truth is, it's still there, just covered up.
Mhm. Yeah, I did some energy healing sessions where we talked to little kids inside me, right? We talked to my 4-year-old self, and my 4-year-old self was joyful and abundant and created anything. Then we talked to my 7-year-old self, and by 7 years old, he had lost all of it already. He was cold and logical and realistic. So, but between 4 and 7 was all it took for the world to hammer that out.
Uh,
Yeah, Heather, everything showing up is an accurate reflection of your inner life, and it's your responsibility. Right? Are you willing to commit now to installing these beliefs in your mind and in your life? If you're willing to commit, just drop a big yes in the chat. Just say you're willing to commit now. It's not saying you have to do all the inner work this minute or this morning or today or whatever, but are you willing to commit to doing it over the second half of 2025? Good. We see lots of yeses. Just commit to installing those beliefs, taking those good things from the first half and using those to propel yourself forward. And what support are you going to need to install those beliefs and stay in that high vibe mindset and set those goals and move forward? What other support do you need? Is it friends, family, coaching, groups, accountability? What other support are you going to need? I know I have found, a daily support group to be absolutely essential in all of this. Didn't used to do it, now I can't live without it. Think about what support you might need. Donna, other high vibe people, right? Being around people who are willing to do the work and stay in the high vibration. Heather, community. Yeah, Laura, always reminding what you do to get back in that flow state. Stay in it as long as possible. And it doesn't mean you have to be in it all the time because life happens. But then when you get out of it, how do you get back into it? Right? In fact, that's something we work on. Those of you who are in the morning group, you guys know we work on when life goes haywire at some point during the day, because it always does. How do we get out of that haywire state and get back into the flow state, back into the gratitude state?
I seem to remember there was a day, maybe several weeks ago, that Ian was struggling with something, and the support he received from you guys was so helpful that you reminded him that wasn't who he really was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys remember that week or that day, but seeing how that really helped him adjust everything throughout the rest of the day. And that was what he started his day with. It was beautiful. So thank you guys for being a part of that.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Heather.
thank you.
I remember that too. And I remember that I said, I think it was something like, don't forget to breathe. You know, just be grateful for what, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is what we do for each other. Good morning, isn't it? Right. We're all going to have days where we struggle, and that's fine. You know, the funny thing is, those of you in the morning group, what the support you gave me that day was so helpful. I remember that day, but I don't even remember what I was struggling with now.
Well, and isn't that the important thing? You remember the love, you remember the support, and the problems, they're going to come and go. The pain is going to come and go. Whatever trials and tribulations are showing up in our lives, that's why we're here to support and love each other.
Yeah.
That's what survives, and that's what continues to build and grow. And that's why this community is so important. You know, when you want to accomplish something, when you want to move towards more financial abundance, more love abundance, I mean, all of that abundance in different areas of your life, how do we truly enjoy living our lives?
Yeah, you know, it sounds from what you and Ian are saying, Heather, that it's a community becoming friends where you can just be yourself. And when you're really in a bad place, you can tell everybody, I'm in a bad place, and not be afraid of judgment or, you know, put down. But it's like, okay, we hear you. And then they offer whatever it is they want to offer.
Yeah.
That's
In fact,
wonderful.
those of you who are already in the community, would you say it is a safe space to be
Absolutely.
completely authentic?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Not afraid to speak out who you are and with,
Mhm.
you know, how we serve. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And would you say, like, do you ever feel judged, or like anybody's judging you or disappointed in you, or?
Never.
Yeah.
Even when I'm worried about it, or I think, oh man, I'm expecting some negative comment. It's never that way. It's always so positive.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm going to join.
Well,
You
and I
know,
that the hardest person on the judgment is myself.
Yeah.
yep, that's right.
hmm Yeah. I've wondered sometimes, should I share this struggle because I'm judging myself? But
That's
nobody
right.
there ever judges me for it. It's simply holding a loving space.
You
You
know,
know,
yeah, we're all creators. I've learned this from the work I do. We're magnificent beyond belief, and most of us are clueless to what we can do. So to be amongst each other, wanting the best and supporting each other however we can for the best, we're all winners.
Heather, was that Simba you just had? Was that the little one?
Was he all of a sudden I turned around and he was snuggled up next to me. So I put him on camera, and now he's
Yeah.
back to snuggling.
Oh,
with
I
me.
missed him. I missed him.
You want to grab? Do you want to show him to Norma? Can you get him on camera real quick?
Oh, he snuggled back in, but he is so redirectable. Here he is.
Yeah. So this is he's
Oh.
only. Oh, it's not showing up on camera quite. I think because it's the background is interfering. But
I'm trying.
Yeah,
yeah,
to
it's not working. That's Simba.
wow.
He's 10 weeks old.
Sorry, I keep trying.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, the background keeps crowding it out. Oh well.
Yeah, he's cute.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's very much his own being, that's for sure.
Oh, he is his own being for sure, and he's brought a lot of energy to the household. We've had
He's
to
a lot
basically
hidden.
we've had to baby-proof the household all over again. Thanks, John. Good to see you. We'll see you on Monday. Good luck on the golf, John. Go kick ass, man. Go
Thank
get
you.
him.
Thank you. Thank
Got
you.
it.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. So in our community empowered business habits, we do this sort of habit stacking and rewiring together. And we do it with daily accountability. But for us, accountability is not a rough word or a bad word. It is support and love. How are you doing? How can I help you? How can I hold space for you? And we just show up and witness each other showing up. There is so much to be said for simply showing up and witnessing the other people who show up. That's a win. We think of it every day as a win that we just show up, right? That we make it. And you find that your shifts you're making, they stick, and you start to follow through more and more. All right, so a couple of tools and tips for as we move forward for the next, the next 6 months of the year. We kind of talked about our mindset and taking the good stuff and installing new beliefs. There are a few things you can do that really help as you move forward, as you set goals and achieve them. One that we do a lot is daily anticipatory gratitude, is what I call it. So we do talk about what we're grateful for now, but then we also imagine that we're going to bed at night and we're talking about how grateful we are for how amazing the day went. Right? And you feel that gratitude that you're going to feel when you're going to bed tonight. And then you get to hold on to that gratitude all day long. It has an amazing way of sticking with you. We also do some work on disconnecting who we are from what's happening around us. Because we are our higher selves. We are manifestations of higher spiritual beings. That's who we are. All the stuff that's happening to us, around us in the world, that's not who we are. So we focus on being our higher spiritual selves and the manifestation of that in this 3D world. And one quick way to prioritize the stuff you have to do is the Eisenhower matrix. Some of you have learned this before. I'm just going to go through it real quick. It's called the Eisenhower. It was literally invented by Dwight D. Eisenhower, the former Supreme Allied Commander and former President of the United States. First, he said, you got to ask, what are the urgent tasks? Right? So these are tasks with a deadline. And if you miss that deadline, it might have consequences that you don't like. So what's urgent? And then he said, second, ask what are the leveraged tasks? So these are tasks that have a large benefit compared to the energy you put in. So maybe not a lot of time and energy, but it comes with a huge benefit or achieves something big. And so then you kind of create just a little grid out of that. And you can do it for your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly goals. So you've got your more urgent and less urgent things, your more leveraged and less leveraged, and then you see your sweet spot. If it's urgent, if it needs to get done now and it's leveraged, it's not a lot of effort, then that's kind of your priority. That's your sweet spot. And then your low priorities are going to be the things that are not so urgent and not so leveraged. It's just a way of prioritizing all the stuff that you want to get done or the goals you want to achieve. And we dive deeper into a lot of this kind of stuff. Right? These kind of tips and tricks are the things we learn. We have our daily check-in calls, and then we have Friday coaching calls. We don't just talk about the goals, but we're sharing these sort of tools so that we can help each other actually make them happen and put them into daily practice. So we dive deeper into instruction on a lot of this stuff. So does anybody want to share anything else about any goals they want to achieve or any questions they have real quick? Anything else coming to mind? Yeah,
Well,
Katie, they're open.
I
Sorry,
just
Noemi, go ahead. Yeah.
okay. One of the things that holds me back is how do I know? How can I know if what I want to share about handling energy, people are even interested in? I'm interested, but not a lot of people are. Out of all my clients, I have 3 clients who are interested, but
Mhm.
and
I'm
it's
interested.
oh, thank you. Who was that?
That was
Melinda.
Melinda. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you know how to you're in an accident and you want to recover quicker than what you are. There's something instantly you can do, and it happens right away by your energy. What you do with your energy. Did you leave it at the scene of the accident? If you did, bring it back to you and your body. But most people never taught us about energy. So I was thinking for a goal, I'd love to do podcasts with each short little section giving a concrete example of something different you can do with your energy. But I don't know if people even give a crap about it. I thankfully one person said yes, they are. But maybe I should put it out anyway, just to put it out so I know I did, and then see what happens. Be brave.
Norma, wonder if you had somebody interview you. these short clips that someone could ask you the questions or whatever. There could be that banter back and forth. I think
Yeah,
that
I
that would
was
be-
thinking of that. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So you're not alone, number one, and it's more casual, but you still get to tell your story because I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, because I practice just, driving and I say, okay, I'm going to practice. What would I say? And it doesn't go as well as when somebody's asking me.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that good. Thanks, Melinda.
You're welcome, Norma. I volunteer. I'll ask you the questions if that will help you get it out there.
Yeah, I could send you the questions, and then we have to figure out how to record it.
We'll record it on Zoom
Mhm.
and then we'll upload it.
There you go. It's back on.
Comment
Oh,
on
okay.
that. So Norma, I follow the Crappy Childhood Fairy, Anna Runkle, and she was talking the other day and said that right now she has 1 million followers on YouTube, but when she first started her very first podcast, she had 3 people, and she was so excited about it. She was just thrilled that she had 3 people. So if you're passionate about it and you want to do it, put it. I encourage you to put it out there. I think, and it sounds good. I'd watch it.
Oh, thank you, Donna. All right. Well, this is nice. I mean, I'm getting inspired because it excites me. I love it,
And that's what we want to do every morning.
Yep.
Nice.
And we apologize. Our internet went out for a minute. Don't know what happened, but back on now. Yeah.
All right.
Hi, sugar. The
Another
puppy
fur
wanted to say
baby.
hi too.
Yeah. He's a good puppy. All right. And it's still recording's still going, right? Good. Okay. I don't have to redo it again this time. All right. So, I mean, I think some of us are feeling some momentum today and some momentum
And
from
love.
and love you. Everything we did today, talking about our mindset, our habits, our clarity, the celebrations, how to set the goals, and what tools to use. This is literally what we do all the time in our Empowered Business Habits community. We're on every weekday with an extra coaching instruction call every Friday. So if today you felt supportive and supported, because we support one another and we give and receive the support, imagine what's possible if you have that sort of community holding that loving space for you every day. So we call it our Empowered Business Habits. It's a community subscription. And this is your way to boost that momentum mid-year. If you join it today, you can finish 2025 strong, and we can keep on doing this together. So just imagine you've gotten a taste of it today, but imagine waking up in the morning and knowing you don't have to figure it out alone because you're going to have that community there showing up with you, showing up to that loving, completely judgment-free space, completely safe space where people are going to see you for you and accept you for you and celebrate you for being you. Imagine setting that clear intention every day. What is it today I want to get done? There's a lot to be said for setting a daily goal. We can set our monthly, yearly goals, all that stuff, but there's a lot to be said for what is it I'm going to do today that's going to advance me to get where I want to do. And then we cap off the week with guidance from Heather and myself on upgrading our mindset, our habits, and our tools so that we can keep doing that and moving forward. They're warning about my internet connection, so I have no idea what's going on with the internet today.
I mean, the wind is blowing, so
it could be the wind out there. Yeah, we're up in the mountains. Stuff happens. So as a member of the community, you get daily morning calls. These are Monday through Friday. They can last from 15 to 30 minutes. It kind of depends on what we're sharing and how long we want to be on. We're going to share our wins from the previous day or celebrate our successes from the previous day. We're also going to process any blocks or self-doubt or struggles we had from the previous day. You don't have to be all hunky-dory and pretend yesterday was fine if it wasn't. If it wasn't fine, that's fine. We're going to talk about the struggles too and how we can move through it. We set our aligned and clear intentions for the day in which each of us wants to get done. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. Sometimes it's a huge project. Sometimes it's as simple as my intention for the day is drinking a lot of water and getting in a good walk and eating right. right? It can be as little or as much as you want to do, because there are no little projects here. It's all good. And on those calls, we feel seen, loved, and supported by a powerful and non-judgmental community. So these daily morning calls, these are at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. So it's a little earlier for some of us, it's a little later for some of us, but we tried to set it at a time where it would work for the most people, in the various different time zones. So these are Monday through Friday. As a member, you also get weekly Friday coaching calls. These last about an hour. These are at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern every Friday. So it's in addition to the Friday morning call. And this is where we dive deep into other stuff. How are we going to set meaningful goals and not just keep ourselves busy? It's so easy to get stuck in the busy work and not advance. How do we keep rewiring our beliefs so we stop sabotaging ourselves? It's so easy to sabotage for a lot of us. And we learned communication tools. A couple of weeks ago, we learned an amazing communication tool called street epistemology. We learned meditation tools. A couple of weeks ago, we did a whole thing on the one command meditation. We learned enhancing our mindset. So it's instruction on all of this stuff. And you get all the recordings of the Friday calls that we do. And the biggest thing, look, you get a community that actually cares. It's hard to do this stuff alone. You guys have heard of that Johns Hopkins study where they had heart patients and they did a couple of groups, and there was the one group where they gave them instructions on how to improve their heart health and get better. And they said, go off and do it alone. And most of them failed and a lot of them died. And then they had another group where they gave people the same instructions on how to improve their health and get better so that they don't die from a heart attack, but they had them do it in community. The people who did it in community achieved their goals and got better and lived. It's hard to do all this on your own. Working this in community is so valuable. I mean, I can't even say like the change that we've experienced since we started doing this in community. And so you get the live coaching on Fridays with us, and you get to leave each Friday feeling focused and clear for the week ahead. You get the community every weekday morning. And as we've said, we are determined to support one another and celebrate one another and see one another and not judge one another. So there's no toxic hustle stuff. There's no pressure to do lots. It's not a big, high pressure, go environment. If you want to go, then by all means do, and we'll support you in that. But nobody's trying to tell you have to. There's no pressure to perform or accomplish your goals. There's only support and love in accomplishing your goals. We're just folks who are showing up to hold space for each other.
And witnessing everybody's growth, everybody's ability to be present and loving for each other.
Yeah.
And help guide sometimes. Open doors, help guide.
Yeah. So John, who was on a minute ago, EBH is a life-changing habit that has made me a better person. Every day I start by sharing my true authenticity in a place that is above all safe. It's made a difference in my life and it keeps getting better. You'll be glad you joined. And Kristen, thank you so much for the kind words as well. Ian and Heather's hearts and experience. We have kitties making a mess. Sorry. Is helping me set up for success and moving towards the best version of myself possible through EBH. This combined with connecting with a loving community for accountability has been so impactful. Now, even the least productive days are more productive than the days prior to being part of EBH because how I am set up to win from the get-go. And Kristen, I love how you added this on because this is one thing we've been thinking too. The only regret I have is not joining the group sooner than I did. I think Heather and I's only regret is we didn't start this a year sooner.
Well, remember, because I watched some of the videos from earlier this year, and I had brought out that journal that it was 5 years from when I wanted to start it.
That we first talked about setting this up. But you know, what do they say? The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago.
Yep.
Well, I didn't plant a tree 20 years ago. So then when's the best time to plant it? Now. So for those of you that were able to attend today, we have a coupon code that's good for today only. So the community is $147 a month, or if you want to do the annual, there's an annual option for $1477 a year. That's like getting 2 months free. It's totally fine if you want to start with the monthly and see how it goes. You'll be offered an opportunity to upgrade to the annual. And today only, If you use the coupon code EMPOWERED, you get 50% off your first month. So you get the first month for half off with coupon code EMPOWERED. If you want to dive straight into the annual, you can still use that coupon code on the annual and you'll get the same dollar amount off. So it's about 75 bucks off basically.
Well, and the other thing I want to remind you of, and we said this at the beginning of the year, but the price is going to continue to go up because we're adding more and more to it. And, you know, I even am getting guidance this morning as I was getting in tune with myself that maybe I'm going to do a midday.
Do a midday one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
So there's no guarantee yet, but
No.
that is in the works. And, you know, I'm being guided to do that. So,
and we're adding features, and the price you join at
is what it will continue as.
You get grandfathered into.
And if we end up changing the format even more, you will always get your related discount, whatever that would be. If we end up changing everything, we will always honor the fact that you were an early adopter and took a chance on us when it was still new.
Yeah.
And technically this is still the first year that we're offering this. And, you know, we just want a really loving, solid community with us.
Yep. Building community. So how do you join? You can go to empoweredbusinesshabits.com, use the coupon code EMPOWERED. That's good today only, and drop this in the chat. empoweredbusinesshabits.com. And I think I also, in case that one doesn't resolve, there's also a direct clickable link that should work as well.
And also I want to mention, we have a Signal group.
Yeah, we have a Signal chat.
That everybody is supporting each other in the community. It's open 24/7. So, you know, you wake up and you need support. If somebody's on, they'll support you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's, and the fact that we are actually there, and, you know, so many times anymore, people are outsourcing these kinds of groups, and that's not what we're doing. And that's not the intention.
Yeah. So yeah, the Signal chat, people dropping always resources in there, things they find they think might be helpful to everyone else. You know, people just saying hi in the Signal chat. So that's open all the time.
Or if you're offering some kind of a webinar that, you know, people could want to come to, that they would get value from, it's just a way that we all support each other.
Yeah. So that goes on all day.
Is that separate from what you're talking about?
It's an app that you get on your phone, but if you join this group, you're allowed to be part of that chat group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't cost extra or anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a free app.
Yeah.
It's like a messenger app, but it is not through Facebook. So they're not going to take your data. It's more secure. Ian uses it for his legal clients. I have not quite yet done it for my therapy clients.
Yeah, it's an encrypted app, and it's run by a nonprofit. They do not sell your data. They delete all the messages off their servers. So it's much more secure way to communicate than texting and everything else.
Yeah, I think they have a limited time that the messages are on their boards, and then it all gets wiped. So you never have to worry about what you share is going to be used against you or anything, because it just isn't.
Yeah.
This is a real reliable company.
And what's it called?
Signal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Laura. Really good to see you. Glad you could make it. So why do this now? Look, we're halfway through the year, and whether you're feeling on fire or behind, that's fine. What matters most is how you show up from here on out. Starting today, that's all that matters. And you don't have to do this alone. This is how, if you join our community, it really keeps up your momentum, and we help you find clarity, and we support one another through that community. And look, the best gift you can give yourself is making progress towards the life you want and deserve.
Yep.
And like we said with the planting trees, the best time for us to have started this would have been years ago. The best time to join would have been years ago, but we're doing it now. So go to empoweredbusinesshabits.com. We would love to have you. Use that coupon code EMPOWERED, which I should have put in the chat as well. Yeah, It's been a joy for us, and we've loved seeing you all today. Do you guys have any questions on? Oh, there she is. Well, it was wonderful to see you all. We love everyone who was able to make it live. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching the recording. We're going to get it upload to YouTube as soon as possible, get out the replay and all that stuff too. So,
well, and we just love seeing you all here. And this is what it's all about, is really coming together from our hearts, supporting, loving each other.
Yeah.
And giving kisses.
Yeah. Always kitties and puppies. All right. Have a great Friday, everyone. Use that anticipatory guidance. Imagine you're going to bed tonight, being so grateful for how friggin' amazing your day was. And just hold on to that gratitude all day long. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.